Kids Life, welcome to Kids Life TV. This week we are going on around sharing the gospel and sharing some interviews. So we're going to be starting by interviewing a few people around today. So stay tuned and follow me. You guys ready? Let's go. Come on. There's a lot of things happening here, so you guys stay tuned because there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of crises happening. So we're going to start with our crisis number 1. Come on. Now, we have our first person we want to interview. Guys, be ready. The person is working, quite busy, but we'll surprise her and ask her the key question. You guys ready for that? Come on. Out here we have Josephine. Can you guys say hi, Josephine? There you go. This is Josephine right here. She's busy working, and we want to see how smart she can answer, how smart she is, and how quickly she can answer this question. Say, hey, Josephine, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, how do you define the word rebellion? That's a big word. It's right here on the screen. How do you define the word rebellion?
Wow. Okay, let me think.
She's got 5 seconds to answer.
Rebellion is when you resist someone in a position of authority.
When you resist someone in a position of authority. Do you guys think that's right? Okay, you guys will have to decide which one is the best answer, but you have to listen to every single person here. And now we're going to go into another person in the room. She's going to sit down right here, and let's just check quickly. Okay, her name is Jessica. Jessica, how's it going?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you. Tell us, how do you define the word rebellion?
When you don't want to do something that you've been told.
When you don't want to do something you've been told. Do you think that's right? Okay, so her definition is going to be right here on the screen. It says when you don't want to do something that you're being told. Okay, so keep that in mind and tell me which one is your best definition. Come on, let's interview more people and let's find out what the good news is all about. Yes, let's go. Okay guys, so now we're going to interview our very last person, and she's so smart, but I don't know how smart she is, so let's come find out. Let's see. So we just said hi to Mrs. Carrot. This is Mrs. Beetroot. Can you guys say hi, Mrs. Beetroot?
Hello.
There you go. So she's going to be defining for us the word rebellion. So Mrs. Beetroot, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing fine, thank you. So let's see. Mrs. Beetroot, can you tell us in 5 to 10 seconds, what do you mean by rebellion?
Rebellion. Not listening to your mommy.
Wow, that was the quickest. Not quickest. She said not listening to your mommy. That is rebellion. Come on guys, I'm so excited you guys are here. You guys get to pick which one is the best definition of the word rebellion. Don't use Google. Just listen to these people and let's carry on. Thank you so much. In fact, one more person, come here for a second. Come with me. Come here with me for a second. Hello, someone shaking your head. She's trying to run away from us. Can you believe it? She's trying really hard to run away from us. She's being rebellious. So how would you define rebellion in that case?
Not doing something that someone else has asked you to do.
Wow! Now we have all the definition. You guys tell me which one is the best definition. Mrs. Blue Dress. Can we call her Mrs. Blue Dress? Yes, this is Mrs. Blue Dress. Come on, let's carry on, kids. Thank you so much. Hey guys, so we are carrying on with our interview, and right here we have Mrs. You guys ready for her name? You guys ready? Yes, this is Mrs. Carrot. Come guys, say hi to Mrs. Carrot right here.
Hi.
Hello Mrs. Carrot, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am well, thank you. You've got about 5 to 10 seconds to define this, and the winner is the person who's going to define it in the quickest way. So how do you define the word rebellion, Mrs. Carrot?
Rebellion is going against a norm or rules that are set in place.
Wow, that was quick. That was less than 5 seconds. She's so far one of the fastest person to answer. Well done, Mrs. Carrot. Thank you so much. You can carry on working. Come on, kids. Should you hear more answers? Yes, come on. Hey guys, we're gonna interview some finance guy, Mr. Popo. He's a big finance guy here in this room. And are you guys ready to see Mr. Popo? Come on guys, he's quite busy here. He's working, and let's see if he's as smart as he looks. He's got 5 seconds to define the word rebellion. Hello, Mr. Popo, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. So, Mr. Popo, tell us, how do you define the word rebellion?
Rebellion is a refusal of obedience, actually. It's when you're resisting an authority, actually, if I can say that, yes, yeah.
When you're resisting an authority, did you Google that?
No, but yeah.
Okay, well done. He did it in more than 5 seconds, but well done. It's when you refuse to obey or you resist authority in a nutshell. Thank you guys. Come on, let's interview more people and say thank you to Mr. Popo here, guys. Bye, Mr. Popo. Thank you.
Bye.
Hey guys, welcome again. We are carrying on our interview. Oh my goodness, so much noise. Come on, follow me here.
You have to clean those dishes.
No!
You have to clean
Hello.
them. So who's gonna clean them?
I don't want to do it.
Who's gonna clean them?
Hello girls, hello. Calm down. We're on TV, Kidz Live TV. Welcome. Follow up with these guys here. That's happening. I told you there's crazy things happening in this area. So tell us just quickly, what are you fighting about? Let me start right here.
She doesn't want to listen. She has to clean the dishes.
She doesn't want to listen. She has to clean the dishes. What are you fighting about?
You don't want to listen to me because I don't want to do the dishes. I'm so little and I'm tired.
She doesn't want to do the dishes. Look at this one here. So what I'm seeing here is an agreement. You've asked her to do something and she's rebelling against her older sister. Are you guys even related?
Yeah, she's my little sister.
Oh my goodness. So we actually have siblings right here fighting right in front of us. I know some of you guys have siblings and maybe you get into fights. Guess what? It's happening right here. And I want to tell you this. While these two are fighting, the same thing happens in the Bible. And that same thing is the reason why we talk about the good news. So guys, I want you, if you're joining us for the first time, or if you are with the siblings at home, stop fighting. Pause what you're doing for a second like them. Pause, I'm going to sit in between them here. So nobody fights nobody. But pause it for a second and I want to say hi and welcome. We are going to talk about real story today on Kidz Live TVs. And we are going to take these real stories into the Bible. So get ready, get comfortable. And if you're only joining us for the first time here, the email is going to be on the screen with the WhatsApp. Get in touch with us and let's talk about rebellion and why it is such a bad thing. Stay tuned and enjoy worship so long.
To something good. I know that you are always up to something good. You'll make a way, whatever it takes. There's nothing your love won't endure. I know that you are always up to something good.
Watch the darkness slip away. Put your power on display. Say goodbye to fear and shame. We won't stop coming after you. We won't move until you move. Come and do what only you can do. Come and do what only you can do. We won't stop coming after you. We won't move until you move. Come and do what only you can do. Come and do what only you can do. Signs and wonders in His name. We won't stop coming after you. We won't move until you move. Come and do what only you can do. Come and do what only you can do. We won't stop coming after you. We won't move until you move. Come and do what only you can do. Come and do what only you can do.
Enjoy that worship. How was it? Okay, earlier I was being what? A TV interviewer, and it was amazing. We interviewed all of these people. Tell me, what is your personal definition of rebellion? You saw people fighting, you saw all of these things happen, but what is your personal definition of rebellion? Okay, because it's very important that we understand rebellion. Because of rebellion, we need the good news, okay? Because of rebellion, we need the good news. And who's the good news? We've been talking to you guys about the good news. Next week, we'll zoom into who the good news is. But a hint for who the good news is, it is right behind me. Can you guys see it? Who does it tell you? Who do you think the good news is? Yes! So next week, we are going to be zooming in that. And so far, this is what we've been talking about, okay? We told you, we started by defining what the good news is, also called the gospel. You guys remember that? And then we moved from the gospel and said the gospel or the good news was a plan. And we told you about Genesis and all of the things that happened in Genesis with Adam and Eve and how God made a plan about that. Then we moved from that and said the good news is actually was a promise. Then we talked to you guys about Isaiah and how God, through the prophet Isaiah, made a promise to the people of Israel that one day the gospel and the good news is going to come. Then we are jumping from that, and today we are telling you the reason why the good news is so important is because of one key word: rebellion. Which in other words also means problem. So it's when you stand against a norm, when you stand against an authority that has been put in place that you should follow and respect. When you stand against it, it's called rebellion. You guys now get it? All the definitions were actually really good. So I hope you enjoyed it. And the reason why we need the good news is because, you guys remember the sisters fighting? What were their names? The one was called Bubbles. There's one sister here, the younger one was Bubbles. And what was the name of the older one, the bigger sister? Let's name her. If you guys don't remember, let's give her a name. Let's call her Nana, okay? So Bubbles and Nana were fighting. What were they fighting about? Do you guys remember? Because one person didn't want to do the dishes. Who didn't want to do the dishes? There you go, the younger one. Bubbles didn't want to do the dishes, and Nana was like, you need to do the dishes. I don't want to do the dishes. You gotta do the dishes. Yeah. Fight, rebellion. Then you had the younger one rebelling against the older one. The same thing happened with the people of Israel in a book in the Bible called Exodus chapter 32. And that's why the Bible is so important, because it tells us of real stories that we live in our own lives every single day. Right? So we have the people of Israel walking in the desert. So they are walking. They're walking. It's a bit sweaty to walk with my jacket, my interviewer formal top here, but they were walking in the desert. And then Moses said to them, I want you guys to stop here, to camp here, okay? I'm going to go up the mountain. So Moses went up the mountain, and he left the people of Israel at the bottom of the mountain to keep on doing what they were doing. When he was up the mountain, guess what? The people of Israel said, we are tired of listening and waiting for Moses. You know what? Everybody, bring your jewelry. So they took their jewelry. You know how jewelry is made out of silver, gold, and all of these beautiful and shiny things that make up jewelry? They decided to melt it into fire. Wow! And it melted, and they made their own God out of it. Okay? So their God was not the God that we praise. It was a different God. They built something with their own hands and said, this is our God now. And they started worshiping and praising that God, which was a fake God. And guess what? That was a rebellion. And that's why we so badly need the good news. Because we, myself and you, all of us are constantly in rebellion against God. We never want to listen to what God has to say. We always want to do our own thing. And because we do this, we need somebody to come and tell us what is the good news. How can we come back from rebellion to being in a place where we are submitted to God? And submission is something like this. When you do this, have you watched movies where you have a what do you call it? A knight on his horse, and then he comes and sees the king and he does this. You guys seen it? Yes, that is a knight who's submitting to his king. So it's when you make yourself smaller so that your king can be bigger. So we need to learn submission once again towards God, because we are all in rebellion. Now tell me, did you fight with your sibling recently, or with your mommy, or with your daddy? I'm sure you did. We all do, all the time. We fight with our friends at school. We even take things from our people. Sometimes even people get bullied at school. That's a reality. You bully someone or somebody bullies you, it's not great, but we are constantly doing these terrible things to each other. And God doesn't like it, because when God made you and He made me, He said we need to love each other, and we need to, more importantly, love God. But sometimes we love ourselves so much that we don't love God. Sometimes we focus our time on hurting other people that we don't spend enough time with God. And God is like, that is rebellion. And the people of Israel made a big mistake. Their mistake was this. They took their jewelry and the thing they loved, and they said, this is my God. And sometimes even your God can become your TV. You spend so much time before TV that you never spend time with God. Sometimes your God can be, guess about ice cream, because you like ice cream so much you never spend time with God. Or your phone. You know you like spending time on your phone. You know you do. Or sometimes it's your school or your friends can become your God because you spend so much time with your friends. And that is an act of rebellion against God. And we do it all the time. And God said, for this reason, I need to send someone. I need to do something that is so different so that you guys can listen to me, change, and be submitted, be under submission to my kingdom, which is God. Okay, so guys, that is the problem. Now, this is what I want you guys to remember from this story. God didn't create you or didn't create me to be on our phone all the time, or to be watching TVs or Netflix, or cartoons or YouTube. He didn't create us to do this all the time. He created us firstly to spend time with Him. And the problem is that we spend little time with Him and a lot of time with all of these things. So for today, I want to make sure you guys understand why we need the good news. Because there's a rebellion in my heart and in your heart. Okay, so stay tuned, because next week I'll tell you the solution that God came up with against our rebellion. And that is the good news, and the good news is a person. Guess who that person is? Yes, so stay tuned next week. We're going to get into that. Okay, guys? Thank you for listening to the story. I will see you in a bit as I give you the activity that you guys can do. Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that story about the problem. I got something right here for me that I made with my own hands. It's a pack of chairs that are stacked on top of each other, right? Just like the people of Israel, they took things that they were their own, they stuck it together and made their own God, right? So I want us to stop doing that because that caused the people of Israel to be in rebellion. That was a problem. So we are going to change our attitude because we as Kidz Life and all of you grade 6, no, we got grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that age 7 to 10 years old, all of you guys, I want you to check in your heart, what are the things that you're doing, like the people of Israel that are causing you to be in rebellion. Okay, so once you find that out, I bet it has to do with what? Maybe you're spending too much time on YouTube, on Netflix, with your friends, playing games and all of these different things, or with your toys and all of these things. I want you to think about it for a second. And here's the activity that I want to give you guys. Every single time that you feel like spending time on Netflix or with your toys or with your friends or doing any other things like this, which does not have to do with God, I want you to pause for a second and say, before I do any of these things, have I spent enough time with Jesus? Okay, that's my thing to you. Have you spent enough time with Jesus before you spend time doing your own things? Because if you change things a bit and you decide to spend a bit more time with Jesus before you spend time doing these things, guess what? Your rebellion comes to an end, right? So thank you guys. I want you guys to try it and let me know what happens. Okay, you can contact us on the email on the screen or the WhatsApp number on the screen so we can get in touch with you. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you into a cell. And remember, the service is now open in the building back. We are back in the building. You need to register, book your seat if you want to join us in the building instead of watching us online. And I'll see you guys then. Come on, close your eyes and let's pray. Dear God, I want to thank you for every single child who listened to this story from Exodus chapter 32. Thank you so much. I pray that they will be able to see the rebellion in their heart and they will stop that rebellion and start spending more time with you. I pray this in Jesus' name and everybody says, amen. Thank you, kids. I will see you next week. Bye.